If your period has ever come late and completely stressed you out, there's a really important reason why that happens. And it's something that most women were never taught how to understand. And it will completely change the way you track your menstrual cycles. In my last video, I begged you to learn when you ovulate. And this is exactly where that knowledge starts to matter. Hi, I'm Crystal. I'm a fertility awareness educator and I help women understand their cycles and prevent pregnancy naturally. Before I understood how my cycle actually worked, I'd say my period is late if it didn't show up on cycle day 28. But by the end of this video, you'll see why that is not necessarily true and what actually determines the timing of your period. When it comes to your period and its timing, there are two really important things you need to understand. One, healthy menstrual cycles can range anywhere from 24 to 32 days. And two, your period is only actually late if ovulation was late. Let's explore these in more detail. The whole 28-day cycle thing is just a simplified average that we're taught. But to be honest, I think this oversimplified way in which we're taught about our menstrual cycles only leads to unnecessary stress for women. Because the minute your body or your cycle doesn't perfectly match that 28-day textbook rule, you think something is wrong, when really cycles can vary in length by quite a bit. Now, the second thing you need to understand is this, and this is really important, okay? All right, all of this is important, but this part is especially important. Your period is timed by ovulation. And as you learned in my previous video, ovulation can easily be delayed. Stress can delay it, illness can delay it, travel can delay it, poor sleep can delay it. Ovulation, meaning the day when you ovulate each cycle, can easily shift. However, the good thing is that once you ovulate, you move into your post-ovulatory phase, also known as your luteal phase, and that phase is pretty consistent. Very textbook. For most women, it tends to be at least 10 to 14 days long. Meaning, if your luteal phase is usually 11 days long, it'll probably stay around 11 days for most cycles. So because your period is timed by ovulation, it should make sense now that if ovulation happened later than usual, then your period will come later than usual. Why is that though? Because your luteal phase still has to run its course. Once you ovulate, your luteal phase still has to run its course. Your luteal phase isn't just going to cut short on cycle day 28 because your app said so or your high school biology teacher said so. That's just not the way it works. Let me make this even clearer with an example. Let's say you usually ovulate around cycle day 16 because we've already learned that it doesn't always happen on day 14. And this cycle you ovulate on day 24. Maybe because you started to work night shifts and your sleep got completely thrown off. Now, you're not going to have a period on cycle day 28, are you? Why? Because of your luteal phase. Once you ovulate and you move into your luteal phase, it still needs to play out for at least 10 to 14 days before you can bleed. But if you're not tracking ovulation and didn't know anything about what was happening behind the scenes, like you didn't know that you actually only ovulated on day 24, you didn't know or understand anything about your luteal phase, that it has to play out for at least 10 to 14 days before you can bleed. If you didn't know or track or understand any of that, all you know is you should get a period every 28 days, and on day 28, your period isn't here, you would think, well, I must be pregnant, and go into panic mode. And this is something I see a lot with the women I work with. They're told their cycles are irregular, it's always late, but no one has ever actually taught them how their body works. If you know when you ovulate, you'll know when you're going to get your period. How do you know when you ovulate? Well, your body gives you daily signs that tells you. It's just that most of us were never taught how to read our bodies or how to interpret these signs. If you're curious and ready to learn more, I've left a couple links in the description of this video that will help you to go deeper and get started.